Hi you guys, my name is Talena Muir. I'm a children's book writer and illustrator, and today I'm going to be talking about sketchbooks. Now this is in preparation for the Dot Challenge that's coming up next week. And what I want you to consider when you're looking for a sketchbook, if you already haven't gotten one, is how it feels in your hands. Feel the weight, open it up, see how it is. If you were to draw on it, would it annoy you if the pages don't lie really flat, like in this hardbound book? It won't lie quite as flat. In spiral bound books, that's what's great about them, is the pages lay really flat. And in some spiral bound books, they actually have perforated pages, so you can tear them out, which can be useful if you're wanting to scan them, or if you happen to have a page that you really don't like. I tend to just go with the flow now. That used to really bother me, but it can be hard when you get this new book and you do something and you're not happy with it. Something to consider with the hardbound and the softbound is the hardbound's a little bit more durable, but it's also heavier. And so if you're going to be taking it back and forth and taking it with you because you only have a little bit of time here and there, you might go for a smaller book, and you might go for a spiral bound one because it is lighter. The hardbound books are going to be more sturdy. I'm really rough on sketchbooks. I have 3 kids and a big dog, and I tend to be in the bad habit of just leaving the sketchbook wherever I was last drawing. If you're going to be traveling and taking it back and forth, a large sketchbook might not be the most ideal sketchbook. I prefer larger sketchbooks because I like being able to move my arm when I draw, but there are other sketchbooks about half the size of this, about a 5x8, that are smaller. Just find the one that would work right for you. Don't go too much smaller than a 5x8. So as you're working in your sketchbook, the one thing that a sketchbook is not for is for perfect, really time-consuming pieces. Now, as you're working on this art challenge, I'm not gonna put a limit on what amount of time you put, because the sketchbook might be the only material that you have. But if you're really liking something and you're really liking the way it works and you want to see what else you can do with it, don't spend a ton of time in the sketchbook. The sketchbook is great for laying things out. Nothing has to be perfect, for experimenting with things. When you really want to make that polished piece, don't do it in the sketchbook. Here I was experimenting with marker and with ink pen, and I had a lot of fun with it, but it was also really time consuming. I learned a lot, but I kind of regret having spent this much time on this part in the sketchbook, and I would prefer to have spent most of that time on a more finished piece. You can see here that some pages are more full than others. This page has some hands on it, and other pages I have tried to fill everywhere, and sometimes I'll write in the pages. I'm also a writer, and sometimes I'll write down story ideas. Also think about what else you can put in the sketchbook. It doesn't have to be just your drawings. You can put things in there that help inspire you. You can paint in them, and they'll get wrinkled, but that's okay. You can experiment with color and experiment with a different way of painting. Something that sketchbooks are definitely for is filling them with ideas. You can store postcards and pictures and pictures from magazines and put them all in here and almost make a collage out of them with the pages to help inspire you. If you have been using something like Pinterest or Evernote, you've already been doing something like this, where you've been capturing pictures and ideas and saving them for later. This is another form of that. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun when you get your sketchbook out and start sketching. So what you guys need to do now is go out and get your sketchbook. Later this week, I'll be talking about what you can do in your sketchbook and how you can prepare yourself for when you start drawing. It's going to be a lot of fun.